We've talked before about how IT has really had to change, moving from being something that was everything was a customized solution. If you're going to install a server, it was going to be a one-off almost every time. You had a very inflexible infrastructure, long configuration cycles, and very costly way of being able to do business. That's a view of kind of, we call it old IT, but let's be realistic. This is current IT in a lot of cases. New IT is really focused on that ruthless standardization we've talked about, ability to be able to automate much of the infrastructure, being able to reduce costs, making sure that predictability and consistency and being able to standardize on a lot of the different capabilities and the services we're offering back to the business. Ultimately, what that's going to do is it's going to lower costs to make us give us the capabilities of moving much faster. And when we think about what we're doing here and how we're delivering it, this is that example of, when we were talking about waterfall and how, the design process was very, very regimented and sequential. Well, this is an example of how a lot of infrastructure projects work. So the delivery of the service is very dependent upon the previous step. So the architect will come up with the requirements. The designer will build a solution based on those requirements. Then we're going to look in the data center for a place to put it. After that, we'll have to procure the hardware, we'll have to install the hardware, we'll configure the hardware. Hopefully we don't run into any issues. If not, we have to go back and reinstall the hardware. Then ultimately we have to get security to come in and try to secure the system. This middle part here is really a very manual and difficult process. And then, oh, by the way, once we get past that, now we've got to go through and actually do further testing on it to make sure it works. It's just a real slow process. This is why in many cases, a lot of our projects take weeks, months, in some cases years on the outside. Right. But what we need to do is we need to move towards more an automated service delivery. This is where the architect can design give the requirements for the solution, the designer can build the solution, and then the network or the infrastructure itself automatically self-provisions. And that's the vision, and that's really where we're going with products like UCS Director and some of the different product sets we have from a cloud perspective, where capacity is on demand. You've got a policy-based provisioning system so that you can define it once and then provision it as many times as you want. And ultimately an adaptive solution set that's going to allow the IT organization to better map to the business needs. The first product that we'll talk about and the first solution we're going to talk about that Cisco offers is Cisco One Enterprise Cloud Suite. This particular product set is really a bundling of a number of different pieces. So first and foremost, you have Cisco's Prime Services Catalog, which is that self-service portal that we've talked about. When we did the demonstration of the eStore, that's the product set that does that. Underneath that, you've got the integrated infrastructure management that's provided by Cisco's UCS Director. UCS Director is something that we're going to talk about quite a bit, and you're going to be tested on fairly heavily within the CCNA Cloud Admin exam on the inner workings of that particular product set. We're also going to talk about Cisco's Virtual Application Container Services. So this is designed to be able to provide that segmentation for applications, and it's another component of Cisco One Enterprise Cloud Suite. And then we also have the hybrid cloud management through Cisco's Intercloud Fabric. All of these components working together make up Cisco One Enterprise Cloud Suite. The interesting thing about it is each one of them is pretty much their own product. They can just be integrated together. So you don't have to bite off the entire, the entire sandwich at once. You can take little bites as you're ready. So as we talked about that journey into cloud, you can build a solution that fits your needs today, and you've got the ability to be able to grow into that vision of, that fully self-serviced environment in the future. So some of the core components of Cisco's Enterprise Cloud Suite. So we talked about Prime Services Catalog. This is that end-user storefront. This is providing you that ability to be able to go into that, that shopping cart-like experience. So anyone in the organization can order services. And this isn't just IT services. This could be, new employee onboarding. It could be password changes. All these types of things can be done via Prime Services Catalog. UCS Director, Converged Infrastructure Management. It's an element manager for the network, as well as the storage and compute. So it addresses all three of those core components. It integrates within Prime Services Catalog. You've got the ability to be able to leverage, the services that you've defined within Prime Services Catalog. But within UCS Director itself, you also have a catalog system. And think of this more as a system that you're going to use to be able to manage internal IT functions. So, for example, you'll have, the ability to be able to define and templatize, core images that you're going to use as services you're going to offer. So if you've got a Windows 7 version that you want to use or a Windows 10 version that you want to use that you've already put together, you've ensured all the proper patches, all of the security requirements, that is your golden image. You can then put that into UCS Director as a standard catalog item. You also have the ability within UCS Director to be able to add other functionality. So we've talked about VAX. VAX is something that is added into UCS Director as a core component. So more than anything, UCS Director really is the linchpin of a lot of this solution. Now, when we look at some of the other pieces, Intercloud Fabric is another aspect of it. The point of this one is it's that hybrid cloud management tool set. So it'll allow you to be able to support the movement and the provisioning of virtual machines in Amazon's web services, Microsoft Azure, and many of the intercloud partners that Cisco has partnered with to offer these services. It's a secure, portable application shell, if you will. So imagine being able to put a little bubble around your virtual machines in your cloud provider. That bubble allows you to then be able to get administrative control on how those virtual machines operate, even within the cloud provider, where you typically don't have control. That's the benefit of Intercloud Fabric. You have the same administrative controls as you would have in your own private data center, basically in the cloud. And then again, last but not least is VAX, and that's the Virtual Application Container Services. This is going to allow you to be able to provide a very, simple, secure application segmentation solution. It leverages industry standard as well as, high-performance security solutions in a very easy way to be able to deploy applications leveraging these technologies. It does all the hard work for you, as in, being able to stitch these different solutions together. And it also allows for interoperability across private clouds, which makes it a very good solution to be able to address your security needs and segmentation of applications. So in addition to Cisco Enterprise Cloud Suite, we also have Cisco's Openstack solutions. So Openstack is a very popular solution today. Why? Because it's an open standard that a lot of organizations are getting behind because they can build a solution that they can customize. Openstack, we offer a number of different variants where we'll support it. We have UCSO, which is designed as a solution set that you can pretty much build your own Openstack variant. We have the ability to be able to control Cisco networking gear within Openstack itself through the Neutron plugin. You also have the ability to be able to integrate this into many of the other systems that we have, leveraging it with our network infrastructure like APIC, for example, with our ACI solution. All of these pieces work together in that environment. It's a little bit more customization. You're going to have to do a lot more, custom programming. But again, this is designed for those organizations that want to really build their own from the ground up. For other organizations that don't want to get into the OpenStack business, we've got another solution, and that's called Cisco's Metapod. Metapod allows you to be able to get all the benefits of leveraging OpenStack, but takes all the headache associated with running OpenStack. Why? Because let's be realistic, OpenStack is hard. There's a ton of complexity under the hood. You've got, a lot of different moving parts. As you can see from the diagram here, there's a lot of different components that make up OpenStack. OpenStack's not just one application. It's a suite of a suite of components that have to work together. And, this is something that can be very difficult for organizations to be able to build and to be able to ensure it works properly. So what we've done with Metapod, is basically we do the hard work for you, as we said. We allow you to be able to run this. You have the ability to be able to run this in a remote private cloud solution set. Cisco does all the building for you. We've got the components that we provide from a software perspective. We load it into your data center on your hardware. As long as it meets the minimum specifications, you're ready to go. And the great part about this is it doesn't require you to have all that expertise in OpenStack. You get the ability to be able to have a 24/7 cloud operations and support model, infrastructure capacity planning, full monitoring and error detection, SLA guarantees. All these things are provided as part of the service. In addition, one of the most valuable things it offers is the dashboard. This gives you very good visibility into the solution set. It's a customized dashboard that's offered as part of the Metapod solution, and it's something that our customers find very, very exciting because it gives them that ability to be able to manage and monitor OpenStack in a way that they can't do with just the vanilla version they'd have to build themselves. So in addition to Metapod, we've got other solutions that we offer too. So we talked about Enterprise Cloud Suite. We talked about what we offer with Metapod. There's also another product set called Cisco's Intelligent Automation for Cloud, or IAC. And what this solution set does is it's really built more towards customers that want to have a customized workflow associated with leveraging, a very extensible solution. So one of the examples I usually give is contact center. If you're familiar with contact center, there's two flavors you can get from Cisco. There's the Express, which is designed for about 80% of the market out there. It's got all the features that, roughly, everyone's going to have within a contact center. And then you've got that 20% that's really more of a contact center enterprise. It's designed to be able to be much more of a customized, tailored to the workflow of the organization. Depending upon which bucket you fit into, one works better than the other. That's really where IAC comes into play. It's designed as that customized solution. You've got the ability to be able to have that self-service catalog on top of it. It runs a lot of the same components that we've talked about before. So Prime Services Catalog, there's a more customized version of it that allows you to be able to, get deeper into the guts of it, to be able to integrate it into your existing billing systems, into, operational systems you have, applications, all these different types of integrations you can do within this platform. You also have an automation and orchestration solution called Cisco's Process CPO, or Cisco Process Orchestrator. And this is a solution set that allows you to be able to automate a lot of the functionality, kind of similar to what we're doing with UCS Director, but it's got the ability to be able to also automate applications as well. So it's much more feature rich, again, designed for a company that has the need to be able to leverage something like this. In addition, it also supports multi-cloud and hybrid solutions. So we support the ability to be able to, instantiate virtual machines in Amazon, for example, and other types of solutions. And IAC from the ground up is built as a multi-tenant solution. So it's designed, again, for those larger customers that really want to, have, very, very deep control and customized control of how they're operating their cloud environment. This is kind of what the automated orchestration, or what CPO, offers. So it's a full runbook automation tool. So this may look similar to some of the things we'll talk about in the future with UCS Director and some of the designer tools that we have. But again, this is designed to really be that that full-featured solution set that you can integrate and have a a customized view of how your organization is going to operate and how those applications are going to operate within your environment. Everything is customized here. It's not something where you're going to really just pull it out of the box and it's ready to go. Now, there's going to be a lot of things that are pre-built for you to make it easier, but it is something that's going to require some professional services to come in and make work and integrate it into your environment. So what does it look like from a product set and capabilities? This is sort of the view of how the architecture works. So again, we've got Prime Services Catalog on top of it. You've got the orchestration engine via CPO. And then underneath that, you've got different ways that you can control, and integrate within your environment. So you've got UCS Director that you can integrate with, Openstack, Amazon, Puppet, and Chef to be able to do automation and DevOps type of environment, and VMware as well. All of these are supported in an IAC environment. So I know we've talked about a lot of different Cisco cloud solutions. So I want to give you a little bit of a review of this so you can see where the components fit. Because when you're taking the test, you want to ensure that you've got a good view of how these pieces work together. So first is that Enterprise Cloud Suite. Prime Services Catalog is part of it, UCS Director, VAX, and Intercloud Fabric. Those are the four core pieces that make up Enterprise Cloud Suite. In addition, you've got Cisco's Openstack cloud offerings. We have the version of Metapod that we offer, which is that self-service, easy button as far as being able to run Openstack. Cisco offers it as a managed service that basically you buy that service, and then we're going to run it and do all the hard stuff for you. But it's on your premises, so it's on your equipment. And then you've got UCSO, which is the OpenStack variant that supports our equipment. We do it in partnership with Red Hat, and it allows you to be able to build your own OpenStack environment. So if you want to get super customized, you want to roll your own, go for it. We can do that with UCSO. In addition, and last but not least, You've got the Cisco Intelligent Automation for Cloud, or the IAC solution. It's also built on Prime Services Catalog as a self-service catalog on top of it. You've got the Cisco Process Orchestrator, which is designed to be able to automate not only internal IT systems and orchestrate different functions within the environment, but it's also designed to be able to automate and orchestrate different processes and applications within the environment as well. And then you've got this concept of an integration framework within IAC, where you've got the ability to be able to integrate with many third-party solution sets, again, back to billing and other different types of things. That's where that customization comes into play that we talked about before. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of how these solutions work together, and will give you what you need to be able to understand where these things fit as we start talking about it more in further lessons.